As you get the first team member to join your company, there's one additional responsibility you get as a founder on your chest, and that's team coaching. You see, as a leader in your organization, it is your responsibility to positively impact the people in your company to grow with it. Today I want to cover with you 3 basics of team coaching that will allow you to set foundation for your team culture and allow it to scale sustainably. Let's get to it. The first fundamental principle you need to coach your team members on is problem solving. You need to teach them how to catch the fish, not just to get it and kind of eat it. You see, a lot of times founders hire employees, as they call them, just to delegate menial work, just to save the time. The problem with this thinking, though, is it will never let them delegate the hardest parts of their business, which require critical thinking, which require problem solving. And this is what you need to train your people on. Now, I don't necessarily mean that you just need to throw them in the water and kind of let them figure out how to swim. No, that's not how we do it. That's how we burn relationships. Instead, it can be as simple as the next time your team member comes to you for an advice and he says, here's the problem, how do I solve this? Before you give him the fish, you just ask, how would you solve this problem? You listen their thinking process. Now, what I love to do next, I want to ask, what goes through your mind when you come up with this solution? And then explain to me their thought process, how they came here. And I see, this is the part that you're missing, so we can fix that. And then I explain to them what the solution actually is. See, this doesn't change things like 180 degrees, It doesn't change it overnight. But over a year progress, 2 years progress, your team becomes so independent of you to make those decisions, you will feel proud. The second principle of team coaching is goal setting. I want you to start coaching your team on setting big, hairy, audacious goals. Simply because when we think small, we operate small. And we all have different backgrounds. And I know sometimes in some families, in some surroundings, we're taught to be simply humble. Don't set too big goals, be humble, achieve small things at a time. While it makes it easy for you to be a unit of the society, it doesn't necessarily help to achieve those big goals you are dreaming of. And it doesn't help your team members as well. Now, you cannot be the only one with a huge vision for your company, because otherwise you'll be a giant in the land of midgets. That's not what we want. Simply teach your team members to focus on how we can achieve greater than we were expecting before. How do we set higher goals? Because if your team learns to set higher goals, they will be living up to those expectations. So it shouldn't be only you who sets those audacious goals, because it'll just seem bizarre for them. You'll need to coach them that everything is achievable if you are ready for it. The coaching element number 3 is performance improvement. True CEOs from time to time have tough conversations with their team members, especially with the core team members who really have a huge impact on the success of the organization. It's not about being angry or mean to people. It's about acknowledging that things sometimes not going to the right direction, putting things together and figuring out the way to make it right. You see, it can be as simple as one-on-one coaching with a person if the topic is sensitive and we don't want to put them in a bad light, or a form of a group coaching if you see that the overall team is lacking some component. Now, I want you to prepare your people for that in advance. On the interview, when they want to join your company, they have to be okay with that. They have to be okay with critical thinking, with feedback, with constructive feedback. Because if they're not, and some people are not, it might be not productive. They would simply take it personally as an offense, and we don't want that to happen. So coaching and this third element actually starts the moment you interview people. Because if that thing is set right, there will be constant improvement and people will expect more of themselves and actually from you as well. One of the great things, you know that your culture is right when your team members actually challenge you when you don't perform. And I want to be slightly vulnerable in front of you. I have those days as well, just like you. Sometimes I simply don't perform. I don't live up to the expectations I set for myself and for my team. And sometimes my team says like, let's have a one-on-one. We want to understand how we should navigate things because we don't really see your guidance. We don't see your leadership, so help us understand how we can help you. And when these things happen, you know your team is set up for success. These three simple yet crucial components of your team culture will set the foundation strong enough to grow leaders out of your team members that will inspire and empower others to join this movement. What are the other components that you think are also crucial and fundamental at establishing team culture? I'm looking forward for your comments. I want to learn from you as well. Don't forget to share this video with people who are starting their organization or growing their team and need the culture to be strong so that they can find it useful as well. Until next time, I will see you in my next video.